Every one of my records means something. The label, the producer, the year it was made.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Bad luck streak and dance in school, down on my knees in pain. Bad luck streak and dance in school.
Okay, welcome to the Record Night Podcast. I'm Colin.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joe.
Okay, we haven't done that
Haven't done it in a while.
in a minute, but and I still haven't panned over to them. Why? Because we have a guest on the show.
The saga continues, eh?
It's a yes, it does. It's a St.John. Pat St.John? No, it's his brother Chris St.John. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, thank you.
So it's funny. I'm probably closest with out of the St. John clan. I'm probably closest with Matt St. John. I've known him since grade school. He's still never been on the podcast, but you and I go way back. We used to work for the Indians together, and like I was telling you before we started, those are some of my fondest memories of my life is working for the Indians with you and Don and everybody. So it's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
We still don't know what record you brought. But hold on, we'll save it. We'll get to it. I want to take a second to we did J. Cole last week. I haven't released it at the time we're recording it, but it's just about done, so we can talk about it. Just again, we did it at the time, but just a week later. Have you reflected any extra on it there, Jake?
I don't know. I didn't give it another listen, but I don't know. I get it now, like why people say he's like one of the best, because like and it was definitely more lyrical than KOD was, I think.
Yeah.
Like, KOD was very more, I don't want to say poppy because that's not fair.
No.
But to me, KOD was much more like pleasing. Not to say that this one wasn't pleasing sonically to listen to, but KOD was just like it gets you moving. You know what I mean? And this one was, I don't know. The messaging is still there. The consistency in messaging.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to pull off that kind of like positive or reflective I guess writing style without coming off corny.
Yeah.
That's hard to do because there's a lot of rappers like
or preachy,
or
like that
preachy
can
in
happen
the
too.
political scene, and it comes off that way. But this is just I think I was saying earlier like that record was so deeply personal. Like I think that's the key. Is to make the point, like what you're trying to say, like make it personal. You know what I mean? I think that's a good strategy. So I just thought the record was great.
Yeah. Regarding KOD, I think it maybe was a little bit more poppy. I kind of felt like on that he was maybe like being a little bit sarcastic, like
like on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like he kind of made it. I'm gonna use trap beats and whatever, and like okay, if this is what you guys want.
Like what's the one song? The count it up, count it up, count it.
Yeah.
Count it up. You know that song,
ATM.
like ATM. Like that's a very poppy kind of song.
And it was very popular.
It was very popular. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, you brought the record. So
So obviously I love the record. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get to it. So then one day we'll eventually get to the off season, and then he'll have a record. I think it's gonna come out this year. Another record. It's called the Fall Off, and that's gonna come out. You know, and that's supposed to be his last record that he ever makes. So.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I mean, we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe
so he's kind of like a Sturgill Simpson in a way too, where I don't know if Sturgill's going to stick with that plan, but originally Sturgill was going to stick to that format.
Nobody's.
J. Cole's got a similar format that he's got going on.
Well, okay. First of all, Sturgill is invited anytime he wants to come on the Record Night podcast and talk about this. Nobody's questioned him about this. Like he said it on Joe Rogan the one time, but nobody ever really follows up with him about, hey, is this still your plan? Like he's really never been asked about it. So, it remains to be seen. Are you familiar with J. Cole at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've listened to him a few times. It was just nice, like I said last week. It was just nice. I feel like to get back to like a hip hop record, just to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I do want to take a second to put over a couple of records that I purchased recently. Have you guys gotten any new records lately?
No.
I don't even remember the artist's name. I sent you a picture. Who was it, Colin?
Oh, the Marcus King Band.
Marcus King Band. I got it for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
I got
Marcus King's amazing.
Which is there's some serendipity there because when Austin was on, after we were done recording, he brought up the Marcus King Band. We ended up watching a couple of videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then you sent me, like, I got this Marcus King Band. Somebody just got it for you, right?
Yeah, my brother-in-law. That was part of he got me the bass lessons and a Marcus King Band vinyl. But it was interesting because like it was funny because he let me drive his truck, Nissan Titan, which was I need a truck. I've decided, so that's one of my goals. But we're driving in the car and he like put something on Bluetooth and I was like, oh man, this is awesome, like this is sweet. And like he gave me the record like when we got home, so he was playing Marcus King Band like on the way home from the old liquor store. But yeah, it was cool. He is very smooth in the way like he always is like really thoughtful with his gifts and stuff, and he does stuff like that. But it was cool. But yeah, Marcus King Band.
Yeah, on point. So I picked up a couple recently. So another one that Austin brought up while he was here was the Modern Electric, and it's funny. I think he mentioned it at the time, but I missed it. They're from Cleveland.
Oh wow.
So so he suggested them, and when somebody will suggest an artist to me, what I'll do is I'll pull up Spotify. Like Austin was still like talking, like we're having a conversation. So I just pull up Spotify real quick and I threw them into my search history, and just so I won't forget. So then when I go back, they'll come up, you know. And so I ended up listening to the first album at work, and I really liked it. And I listened a few more times, like this is really good. So I ended up buying it, and the record came like suspiciously fast. I was like, what the heck? And then so I look, and it's well here actually. Well, yeah. Like blur out the address or whatever in post, but yeah, so they just sent it. So it just came like this, just a very homemade kind of situation, and but yeah, from Painesville. So I'm like, oh, like that. So that's why it came so quick. They're from here. I had no idea. So
Nice.
that's kind of added a lot to it, and so I'm excited about that. And they've got a few more. Their most recent release was a version of Bob Dylan's Queen Jane Approximately, just a single. They just put it out.
What was that? Do you know what record that's off of?
Highway 61 Revisited.
What's it called? Queen
Jane Approximately.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, if you heard it, you'd be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I know the album, but maybe it's just not by title.
so I'm excited about that. But then also, this I've been waiting for a while. The band Goose finally put out something on vinyl. They're a great jam band, but they finally put out their first vinyl record. It's a double LP called Shenanigans Nightclub, and you know, I think I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I alluded to the fact that I paid too much money for it. But
It's quality. It looks amazing.
it's amazing, and they got a full like nice lyric book in there, so you get what you pay for. I appreciate that level of like
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Production with vinyl. So I'm excited to get to those records both respectively. But anyway, Chris is here, and again, still before we get to the record, so I didn't even know you had records or anything. So just how'd you start listening to music in the first place and all that?
Yeah, I mean, we always growing up, me, Pat, Matt, we always listened to music. I remember listening to the Linkin Park Live at Texas. Matt got on CD went for one of his birthdays, so I remember listening to that a lot.
Because that's what he said his first favorite band was Linkin Park, because we asked him.
Yeah, so we all kind of listened to that.
Trickle-down effect.
Our dad loved listening to music, so we got us into Pink Floyd, Nine Inch Nails, stuff like that, and then kind of grew from there. Yeah, I mean. So what were some of the first artists that you got into, like personally, like that wasn't like somebody recommended to you or anything like that? My Chemical Romance, probably. I love them. Trying to think, Kid Cudi. Although everybody kind of listened to him in high school, so everybody kind of knew.
It's so funny how universal that album was.
I just remember people singing it in like what's that? Home Group or whatever the hell that was.
Homeroom, yeah. And it helps that he was from here, and there's really instead of Bone Thugs and Harmony, I mean, a rapper out of Cleveland. I mean, there's not too many, so.
Yeah, like that. Muse.
Oh yeah, okay.
I haven't found any of their T-shirt. Yeah, I got their T-shirt on. I can't find any of their vinyls in store right now, so I'm still kind of looking.
Okay, so I kind of. Again, we've known each other, but your brother is the one who kind of said, oh, yeah, Chris has a record, so he'll come do the podcast. Now, it's always interesting for us. Every time we have to pick an album, like it's a struggle, to pick what record. So was it difficult for you to decide what record you were going to bring?
Yeah, I mean, I brought 3 of them.
Okay.
That's always my move. I always bring a couple, and I kind of gauge the room and see like
I wasn't sure at first, but I think I know which one I'm going to do now. So
Okay. Well, so let's see. okay, so you know which one you're gonna do.
Yeah. Do you want me to do the other ones that I brought?
Yeah. Okay. So let's
So-
see what you brought.
The first one I brought was My Chemical Romance 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which is their second album.
Okay, here. Let me see this one.
But it's like their first album they got like really big off.
Yeah, it's like their first album was more kind of independent. They did the sessions in their attic, and then like they got known. They were touring for that album. They got picked up by an actual label for that one.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Was it Warner Brothers? Did you know the label? I think it's Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Reprise
Oh,
record,
Reprise,
which I
okay.
believe
It's a-
Warner
is-
Music
is a
I was
Warner
gonna say,
Music.
it's a
Okay.
division of somebody.
Gotcha.
So then the second one I brought was Kitsy Ghost.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys listened to that.
Yeah. No, I. Yeah,
Have we? Okay, that's what I was telling him when you were in the bathroom. Did we listen to that one time? It just never made it on to. Because, so before the Record Night podcast, there was no mics or anything.
Yeah,
so we were just listening to music, you know. And
I don't think
so.
we did.
We did not.
Like
It's a great
maybe
album.
like a lot of times the original Record Night before it was a podcast. A lot of times like we'd like get drunk after and like, oh, I'm gonna put this one on. You know, so
Right, maybe it was one of
Maybe we
those,
did.
yeah.
Just don't remember.
Lost episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's a great album. It's like 23 minutes long. It's
yeah, super short.
and
Because it's
sweet.
seven tracks, right?
Yeah, they're all nice. They're all good songs. They're made the same time they did Kanye's other album, whatever.
Yeah, he, around the
yeah.
same, he was doing with, and he was doing a Nas album at the same time, and
They're all done in one
Ari
album.
Lennox or whoever the chick. He was doing like 4 or 5 albums, like his album and
Yeah.
then like a couple more all at the same time,
A lot. Yeah.
and they all had 7 tracks.
They're all pretty
Yes.
good.
Yeah. So okay. So what? So but you have the other one that you think you're.
All right, so I brought this is Run the Jewels 4.
Oh.
So it came out last year. It's a great album. It's like
Wow. Very mysterious here.
it's very kind of like current, I guess, with the lyrics,
Woo.
with the events that happen. It's a great,
Interesting.
it's a great album. I think it's a double LP, but one of the sides is blank. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So yeah.
So it's like an
yeah.
ABC, yeah.
Yeah. It's
So,
a
yeah,
1, 2,
sometimes you get
3,
that.
Yeah. Because it's only it's not that long of a record, but
Does this record have Zach Del Roca
Yeah.
from Rage?
yeah,
Okay.
I think he's on all their albums.
Yeah.
You know, he lived with ELP for a while.
Really?
Yeah, that's like I think after Rage disbanded and Zach was thinking about doing his solo stuff like One Day is a
What?
Lion.
Oh, I wish he
Which
would've-
I showed to my friends, by the way.
Yeah.
My one friend Chris, and he loves it. It's
I-
like one of his favorite albums.
I love
One
it
Day
too.
Is a
I wish they
Lion.
would have kept going, but
But yeah,
He's
like
great.
he's like well respected.
Oh,
And he, you know, because he was a label owner. I think it was Definitive Jux that the label that he owned.
ELP.
ELP, yeah, and you know, Aesop Rock. That was Aesop's Rock. Aesop Rock's original label before they Aesop's Rock. But yeah, but he's awesome, and of course Killer Mike. I love watching him. Like I'll watch like you know, he's on Bill Maher a lot of like stuff I watch. So and I just respect like his voice. Beyond that, more importantly, he's just like a voice that's like respected in hip hop.
He's like a civil rights activist.
Yeah.
Like he's like actually like doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just
So
just
you'll-
tweeting.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll hear that in his like he reflects it in his music.
Yeah, he's got a voice and he uses it, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Instead of just like a lot of these artists kind of just pander to their audiences and tells them what they want to hear. But sometimes he's very unapologetic for what he has to say, and that's what I think what makes Run the Jewels so great is they're not apologizing for anything.
Okay, so Run the Jewels is the pick here, right?
Yes.
I mean, it seems yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
okay, so tell me about these guys a little bit. I mean, we were just talking about them, but so we were talking about before there was gonna be a Rage Against the Machine, Run the Jewels tour, right? So
The COVID happened.
So who is Run the Jewels? Because you just said Zach De La Roca.
No.
It's Killer Mike from Atlanta, and then LP from Bronx, New York, and they.
Oh, okay.
So they got together because LP had produced one of Killer Mike's last solo albums, and he liked working with them so much that they did an album together.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, they've kept going.
Yeah, Zach is just a feature.
I mean, they've called him like the 4th member just because he's in. I think he's on every album that they've done so far. He has a lot of features.
Okay. Yeah, I could see him in here. Wow, Pharrell.
Yeah, they're all in the same song.
Nice. All right. So have you guys listened? So this is Run the Jewels 4. So their 4th album, presumably. Jake, what's your familiarity with this outfit?
I actually excuse me. So I went on a CD buying binge back before I got into records. My thing was I'd buy the CDs because they're in the uncompressed format, and I'd rip them so I could listen to them. And I think I have like 1, 2, and 3. But to be completely honest, like it's just something I haven't gotten to yet. I definitely have heard like a lot of the more popular songs, especially the ones like I see featuring Zach De La Rocha. Run on Jules fast, run on Jules.
I think that's
fast.
on Run the Jewels 2. Run the Jewels 2 is really good.
I know that one.
Wow.
Look at that one. That's so sick.
I know, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
They have great quality for their stuff. I'm pretty sure just online you can download the album for free on their website. I'm pretty sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had YouTube binges where I just I've listened to a bunch of Run the Jewels stuff, but I haven't. Like, there's a difference between just listening to something in passing, like, oh, I'm interested in this, and like sitting down with the record. So this is gonna be awesome because it's gonna be my first chance to really, even though I own a bunch, even some on CD, like this is gonna be my first chance at really sitting down with one of their records. So hopefully it'll like inspire me to sit down with the others too.
Okay, so we've run into this on the podcast before. Some artists do this where they just don't give you any indication about anything that's going on. So we don't know about side A, side B, side D, nothing. So
Well, like, you know what side the finger's on it, obviously. So that's side 1.
Oh,
there's
I stand corrected.
3 and 4. They don't tell you what songs are on there, but they do tell you which side.
Okay, well, hey, that's good enough. That's all I want is what side of the record is it. Now that makes me wonder, were there some subtle indications on other records about what side it was?
It's like the Tool one, like the Fibonacci sequence. Like if you make every other track like a negative number, it adds up to 1 or something.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay, so I'll get it up on the turntable here. Okay, so we'll see.
Oh, wow.
Well, another thing about vinyl is, the hole on the record is not always cut the same. In some records, you have to really like jam them onto the turntable.
I don't think I've actually listened to it before, so that might be why.
So it depends. But last week, and I saw this in editing on the podcast, so it was funny. When we got done with one of the sides of J. Cole, and like it sounded fine, it played fine. But like the needle scraped back across the record as it came off, and so like I was getting up to get it, and it went like it was really loud. I was like, "What the?" Like, it scared the bejesus out of me. So let's hope that doesn't happen with this. I don't think it will, but I just wanted to note that. Okay, and then we have the 4 on the back because it is Run the Jewels 4. So, okay, should we just get it started? Anything before we get it rolling here?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it over to phono.
You're a phono, Colin.
All right. Well, okay. So we're gonna get started with the record here, but we're gonna take a break here on the Record Night Podcast. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Yeah. I just love everything about Bob Dylan.
Yeah, it's hard not
I
to.
especially love that he went electric. I know a lot of people hated it at the time, but I just think it shows that he was just ahead of everybody on everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he still is.
Okay, so here we go. We're back on the Record Night Podcast. We're about to get started here with Run the Jewels 4. Do you guys? We talked about it already, but have you guys listened to this record at all? Like any Run the Jewels? I mean,
no. The only reason really why I'm familiar with Run the Jewels is because of Zach, because I'm a big Rage Against the Machine fan, and so I've never really listened to a project all the way through. I've definitely heard their more popular songs and like the ones that Zach's on, but that's about it.
what would we call it? Is it are they kind of a? I mean, is it a hip hop or is it like a?
It's hip
They're
hop.
hip-hop. They're
Okay,
Straight
okay.
hip hop.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
You'll hear it.
Well,
So-
Zach De La Rocha makes me think. Okay, is it like a?
Oh, like a little cross, like what he was
He's
doing.
an
Yeah.
MC, so,
Sure.
Yeah,
and he's a
so-
sick MC.
He's
Yes.
really good, just the way he like his like flow, I guess, for like his style lines up really well with rapping.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
especially with the beats that they give him and stuff.
Okay, well, let's get to it. The first track, it appears, is Yankee and the Brave, episode 4. So here we go.
Back at it like a crack addict, Mr. Black Magic, crack a bitch back, chiropractor, craftmatic, big daddy, smoking big caddy in a black alley, in a black granddaddy, rolling down, old natty, how, that big daddy of the black granddaddy, all that, no, I got one round left, 100 cops outside, I can shoot at them or put one between my eyes, chose about it, don't matter, it ain't suicide, and if the news say it was, that's a goddamn lie, I can let the pigs kill me, I got too much pride, and I meant it when I said it, never take me alive. I got Yankee and the Brave with him. Everybody hit the deck. We don't mean no harm, but we truly mean all the disrespect for.
Wow.
This is
This is the DJ Premier
Yep.
beat.
Yeah.
I've heard this.
Yeah, it's like a single.
Kind of like Gorillaz vibes to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
First of all, fuck the fucking law. We is fucking raw. Stay tough off. Oysters on the half jail. Switch your ball. Like a
Damn.
bitch in the pussy feed. Still fuck the raw. I'm a dog. I'm a dirty dog. Ha 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 ha. Oh, dirty bastard. Go in your jaw. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all. Got shimmy in the himmy. Go and gimme, y'all. Pugilistic, my linguistics, RJ Ruler damage, y'all. And I rap it, want it, rap it, be set up the camera,
That was a good verse.
we got some actual scratch in here.
Boy, baby, moving extra heavy, whipping Chevy, gotta get it, spaghetti with the monster, vegan bitches feed them dick 'cause they don't eat no steak and lobster. My hero, homie, Tony's just a fucking I'm popping the product of fucking poverty, I'm cool as AC, and you niggas
Chainz?
just wanna be. I slide on tracks like home plate, rhyme beats like road rage, got a crib like 4 states. I get a text like stay safe, text back, I miss that pussy, be home soon and I can't wait. I came from a dream, triple beam and some great tape. Assistant went shopping, put my bags in the 8-8.
Wow. Coming in hot.
Yeah. It's loud.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they like to put humor into their songs.
Oh,
Obviously.
dude, yeah, fun.
great.
That
Yeah.
is kind of
Yeah.
what my impression was. That this is some fun stuff. What's Jake? What's your impression after those first 3 songs? Right?
I mean,
songs.
I obviously like that DJ Premier was featured on one of the songs. I like the kind of like they're just punching you the whole time. They're not like it's with the beat specifically. Like it's just you're just bobbing your head the whole time. Like you're not stopping, and they don't even their flow patterns and stuff are the same too. Like they switch it up within the same thing, but the actual instrumental is just like do 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 do. It's like it's hitting you and hit you. It's really upbeat, like high energy is a good word I'd use for it.
Yes, Joe.
That's what I was gonna say about like the flow. Like you could tell this is their 4th album. Well, technically their 5th project they worked on together because they worked on the one previously. But like they flow so well off of each other and within the beat itself. And these are like complicated beats. Like not a lot of rappers I don't think can rap on these beats like they're rapping on these beats. Like hitting all the syllables and stuff.
And
you
the
know, like
beats
some
are
rappers
old
are like
school, too.
yeah. Yeah.
So but LP does all the beats for them.
Right.
The one rapper, yeah.
Yeah. He's producer. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
part
the
producer. Yeah, Killer Mike is amazing. He's got amazing flow. You said he's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
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 He's got that southern. He can get into that bag if he wants to.
Yeah.
That whole like southern way of rapping. But then he could. Yeah, they could do it all, from just the first the 3 songs I've heard from them.
Yeah. So is this qualify as like a super group? Like I mean,
I would think so.
Yeah, I would consider that, yeah.
because they were all kind of doing their own thing.
Mhm, before they collabed and did this.
Like
Yeah.
Killer Mike had a pretty big solo career. Like people
Sure.
know, yeah. LP
Yeah.
produced more than but he had his own rap albums too, so.
Yeah. Do you have any other projects from Run? I mean, have you listened to the other stuff and like, how does this compare to that? I guess.
I've listened to that Killer Mike album that LP produced. That's the only thing I've heard from Solo, because there's a couple good songs on there too, but it's kind of like this in that way. A lot of their other albums are like this, where they're just loud and punchy and bassy.
Yeah, kind of not. Like I said at one point, I kind of get a Gorillaz vibe from it. Like I don't know, like just the funness of it, and yeah, I guess like all the people involved too, because the Gorillaz have a lot of people involved in their projects too, like for a lot of the time. So.
Features and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I saw 2 Chainz on that third track, I'm like, I don't know how he's gonna fit in with these two, but he did really good. I thought like, man, like a Freddie Gibbs would be really good with if you guys know who Freddie Gibbs, like Gibbs is. His kind of flow would be like really good with these two guys. But I'm like, 2 Chainz, okay, but he did well. Yeah. He had a lot of clever lines, a lot of clever like wordplay and stuff. He was trying to like the whole texting thing. He was trying to like tell that story and stuff.
Yeah.
That was real clever.
All right. Let's keep it going. I already flipped it, so.
Oh God. I don't think you.
I did too. I flipped it. You were talking. You didn't.
I saw him.
Thank you, Pat.
I'm not Pat.
Or Chris. God damn it. God damn it.
Now we doubt you even more.
He's been on your brother's been on too many times.
The rhyme schemes.
Crazy.
Amazing how we made it and didn't fake it. Life's a disguise, the truth is butt naked. Used to be a time I see it and I say it. Now I understand that woke folks is playing. And the revolution is televised and digitized. You've been hypnotized and Twitterized by silly guys. Tune to the evening news, make sure you ill-advised. Got you celebrating the generators of genocide. Any good deed is palm punished and penalized. Rulers of the world is sliced it up like a dinner pie. Race in the nation told you to identify. Take false pride and warfare incentivized. Fuck that, me and my tribe, we on the ill vibe. We accept the role of the villains cause we've been villainized. Talk to the dirt of the earth, we still will arrive. Paradigm, let me alone as I solidify. Life be ill, but a life to kill. This a nigga with an attitude of Beverly Hills. Every bill with a pocket full of treasure we build. Got a fly hot, terrified and hard to chill. I'm the right time ever. Fuck that fuck shit. Jamie first y'all with a knife in the bust. Now tombstone feet ain't but nothing to fuck with. Please say this shit again, Mike. Nothing to fuck with.
That was amazing. That last verse at the end of that was tremendous.
Ooh, gangsta boo. Nice.
Dirty code gold with cold flow. Got a wire to enlarge and I'll set a fire down below. And then directly at the edge of a mass grave that's in design. 20 fact about a cage that never built for just one group. So when that cage is done with them and you still pour it,
Come for you.
Lowest on the totem, what godly G you have been used. You have to build a death machine that down the line will kill you too. Pseudo Christians, y'all are different. Kids in prisons and the same shit. But one scrap of what Jesus taught connected, you feel different. But a disingenuous way to piss away existence, I don't get it. I say you lost your goddamn minds if y'all possess one to begin with.
Wow.
The way I see it, describe the tree is from the ages 1 to 4. Around the age of 5, you shift away from your body to be stored. They promise education, but really they give you tests and scores. And they predict the prison population by who's storing the scores. And usually the lowest scores, the poorest they look like me. And every day on the evening news, they feed you fear for free.
Hey.
And you so numb, you watch the cops choke out a man like me. Until my voice goes from a shriek to whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in the house on couch and watch it on TV. The most you give is a Twitter rant and call it a tragedy. But truly the travesty, you've been robbed of your empathy. Replaced it with apathy. I wish I could magically fast forward the future so then you can face it and see how fucked up it'll be. I promise I'm honest, they coming for you the day after they coming for me. I'm reading Chomsky, I'm reading Kowski, I'm laying low for a week. I said something on behalf of my people and I popped up in WikiLeaks. Thank God that I'm covered, the devil can smother, and you know the evil don't speak. Dick Gregory told me a couple of secrets before we lay down in his grave. All of us serve the same masters, all of us nothing but slaves. Never forgetting the story of Jesus, the hero was killed by the state.
Just got done walking in the flow. Goddamn that motherfucker cold. Just got done walking in the flow.
Wow.
That was great, wasn't it?
Dude.
That was my favorite one so far.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great track.
Those last two, man.
I love that last one because the beat like just evolves throughout the whole song, and all the flow switch ups and all the it was so great. You said ELP produced all these beats?
Yeah.
This guy, I got to listen to more of his stuff because that's amazing.
Yeah.
He's not just looping like something, you know, and a guy could easily rap to like a loop. He's literally changing it as the song plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I'm not. Killer Mike really stood out to me, man. A couple on that. Those last two songs. I'm not gonna go through everything, but man, he was coming with the truth, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. About
damn.
You've been hypnotized by Twitter guys.
So on point,
Yeah.
so relevant, like for like today. You know,
It's
like,
crazy. It came out. It came out in May last year. It was right before the George Floyd stuff. So like.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, when did this come out? Like,
it was like right before that. And it
So
was
before he actually got like
yeah,
choked out.
So the I Can't Breathe stuff is like the callback to remember the Eric Gardner stuff.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like kind of a
Yep.
callback to that. You'll hear it. They kind of bring that up later too. So, but yeah, it's a powerful song. It's I guess.
yeah, man, 'cause
That was what called Goonies versus E.T. Is that what that was called?
The second that was like the one we just listened to was Walking in the Snow.
Walking in the Snow. Yeah.
That was the one like Killer Mike really
So
puts it down.
so Goonies ET this Ain't No Revolution is televised and digitized. You've been hypnotized and Twitterized by silly guys. You're celebrating the generators of genocide. Yeah, dude, he was. Oh man. But then the one we
The last track, I identified with a lot because there were a lot of points that a lot of people, like especially like rappers like Brother Ali, Immortal Technique, that I look up to have like had that same message. Like one Brother Ali line is, as soon as you dismiss the rights of just a few, what happens when that few becomes you? And I think that line was Killer Mike really like honed in on that point. Like, it's easy when you're the one not affected to be apathetic to what's going on, and like to be truthful, it's like you really do think that way. Like you think your Facebook post or your Twitter, like, oh, I disapprove of this. This is wrong. You think that's doing anything, but really, like, what is? It's like, are you the one in front of City Hall, like, scaring these politicians into making change? Like, no, you're making no difference. Like, really, like, it's like, what skin you got in the game when it comes to, you know, what's right. So I think those were like really good lines to remind you of like not only that what you're doing right now, like, it isn't enough, or what in general, but like you need to do it not only for the people who are being affected, but it's for you as well. Like, you're affected by it as
they'll
well.
come after you once they're done.
Yeah.
Come after the other, the other oppressed people, which is what LP says. What are you gonna do when you're like when they get rid of all the poor people and you're the poor people now?
Yeah.
They'll come after you next. So it doesn't matter who it is. They'll come after you.
Yeah. What'd you think, Joe?
About the song in particular?
Just the side in general, I guess.
Good. Yeah. It was another 3 tracks to listen to, right? Yeah. Another good 3 songs. Yeah. There was a Nas line he had in there about Illmatic or it was written Illmatic. He a lot of at the end of one of the songs, I forget which one, but there was a lot of Nas references that I liked. Yeah.
God damn
You're having troubles.
Having trouble.
I had it set the wrong way. Yeah, God. They promise this is in the last song.
Yeah, that education one.
They promise education, but really they give you tests and scores.
Yep.
And they're predicting the prison population by who's scoring the lowest.
Yeah, it's like who are you going to exploit? Like, give us the analytics. Who's the next target? You know what I mean?
Well, they'll know like this is like these areas too. Like in certain areas they have low test scores.
Even when you go to prison, they test you. They test you on your knowledge and all that. So they're getting even more information, even more data on people that are actual like prisoners.
Yeah.
But it's just indicative of how like the powers that be, for lack of a more specific term, like kind of look at this. It's more of a data kind of situation instead of individuals. Like, all right,
numbers.
we got these. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Chomsky, Bukowski. What about this?
Yeah, Dick Gregory too.
So the WikiLeaks, I mean, you can click on it, but I'm pretty sure it was something in the DNC emails with Hillary and stuff. I'm pretty sure
I remember this now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he was supporting Bernie Sanders. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been a supporter of Bernie Sanders. Yeah, heaven forbid.
That's great that he put it in there too, though.
Yeah. Again, the relevance like came through in those last two songs, like how current like this all is.
Did you read what that actually said though? Like the email said the email said what he said was having a uterus doesn't qualify you for being president of the United States, and their response was, I guess Killer Mike didn't get the message. Like that's what they said in the actual leaked email. Like,
wow.
Oh yeah.
That's our whole like strategy, basically.
But I don't want to go too far into it. But that was basically the straight. That'll be enough to win.
She's a woman, so she's gonna win.
Right.
That worked out well.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. So let's see. We've got as far as the rest of this album is concerned. Okay, so there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It does have a 4 for the back.
Yeah.
So
it might be. I can't remember if it's blank or not.
Okay, so we'll get to the rest of this record. We're gonna take a quick break here. And is that are you good, Jake? Or because
I'm dying to empty my bladder.
Right, go.
They always give me.
I'm glad you get to experience this record from start to finish because, like you said, it was on your playlist, and some songs come up here and there, and I feel like this is just one of those pieces of art that needs to be listened to like a story from start to finish. So I'm glad we get to experience this. This is awesome.
That's what Record Night's all about.
Hello, I'm Colin from the Record Night Podcast. Do you have a record on your shelf that means the world to you? Maybe it helped you through a tough time, or takes you back to your childhood, or maybe it's just a badass record that you'd like to share with us and the world. Well, if that's the case, we'd love to hear that record, and we would love to hear from you. So if you're interested in being a part of the Record Night Podcast and you're in the greater Cleveland area, then please feel free to reach out to us. You can do that a couple of different ways. You can send us an email, recordnightpodcast@gmail.com, or you can send us a direct message on Instagram @recordnightpodcast. We hope to hear from you soon.
This is a blast.
Yeah.
This is a blast.
This is how it is. Every weekend.
Okay, so we've got one, potentially 2 sides left. I think it's 2 because again, I did see 3 and 4 on the LP. So let's keep it going. Now, we were really impressed by the last couple songs on that side, but this just God damn it. Okay, so that's another mistake. I've called you Pat a few times.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I'm better.
I'll just stick with St. John. I'll just call you the St. Well, I used to always call you St. John.
Yeah.
Okay, but so the last song, "Walking in the Snow," you liked a lot, but you said this it was like the most popular song.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. I think more people like knew it. It's just because it features Pharrell and Zach De La Rocha.
So you get a lot of crossover from different,
Yeah.
music listeners and stuff.
Yeah. And then, I mean, this one's pretty good. It's kind of like the last one. They bring up a bunch of like current topics in it. So,
okay, let's get it going.
it's gonna start with the Pharrell 4 beats, but you know how he does that. But he actually didn't produce the song. It was they did it as like an homage to him being in the song. The 4 beats
Nice.
that you'll hear.
I just learned about that 4 beats thing like not too long ago. I thought that was really cool. And then once
There it is.
once you know it, you can't like unhear it.
Mastered academics, cause your grace said you was scholar. Mastered Instagram, cause you can instigate a follow. Look at all these slave masters posting on your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters. Master of these politics, you swear that you got options. Master of opinion, cause you vote with the white collar. The 15th Amendment says that slavery's abolished. Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it?
Funny how some say money don't matter, that's rich now, in it? Yeah, try to sell pack, supposed to get food, get killed, it's not an anomaly. Hey, it's just money.
Cause you teach yourself in scholars, right? Master academics, cause your grace and you were scholars. Never look back.
Interesting instrumental.
Whoa. Got Mr. Motherfucking Esquire coming up here.
So here's what you can't go forward, and you can't go back. The past, the present, the future, all the relevant. Michael remained virtuous, but still virtuous. Wait to kill the penalty and found out the church services. Not a holy man, but a moral and not perverseness. So I support the sex workers unionizing their services. I'm guessing I'ma be okay.
So, you know what's funny about for me about Killer Mike is I've never really listened to him other than like I've heard him as features and stuff.
Yeah.
I know about him more like I've heard him on like podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I like what he's about, but so it's just cool.
Does
hearing him.
the music matches
Yes.
what he's
Yeah.
trying
right,
to say? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
He's
Exactly.
pretty consistent in his message.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I was wrong. It was I don't know what album it was with the fourth falsetto.
I have an album like that too, and I went to go spin the four side, and it was just like it just went,
Yeah, I
and
can't
then went. I'm like, what?
So do you like Zach De La Rocha's verse?
Yeah.
He just has such an element. I mean, just his voice and God, yeah.
He could rap though. I
Yeah,
mean,
he sounds good.
His thing is just like the tone, like his angry tone is so appropriate for like what he's saying, you know, in his messaging, you know, in all the Rage Against the Machine stuff, and so
yeah, that's
it
why
just
I love
added
Rage
so
Against the
much.
Machine. Is the way he emotes anger and frustration.
Here, let's wrap it up. We'll play the last side, and then we'll kind of wrap up the whole thing.
All right.
Do you remember that thing you showed me how Aesop Rock or whatever had the most different words used? I wonder how far they are up on that list.
Yeah.
You know? Wasn't it him? Aesop Rock was the number one?
The top, yeah.
Like Immortal Technique was up there, I think, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know A$AP Rock was like.
Yeah. Eminem is probably high up there.
So picture me red as I sit on the bed with my hands on my head and the pistol. Why the fuck must I be miserable? The devils they do the despicable, and still they move like they invincible. These filthy criminals sit at the pinnacle, doing the typical, keeping us miserable, taking the most and providing the minimal. Hate to sound cynical, but shit is pitiful. Times is just critical. Like Jimmy's appeal, they typically kill kids in a ritual. I murder the visibles. I make it unbiblical. I cut off the hands that vector their life and I put it up digital. Fuck the political. The mission is spiritual.
That's a whole.
That was such a good, underrated verse right there. It happened so quick, but it was so good.
God, what a fun tour this is. Run the Jewels and Rage Against the Machine.
I know it's coming next year.
Yeah.
Dude, I need tickets.
Can't wait.
Again, it's 4 days straight. I didn't wake you, baby. I just watched you lay. You ever notice that the ones that bust up all the chips? And really kind of take the shit on people getting rich. Like maybe rich is not the holy ever loving king of nothing but the we know you're bluffing. You were dealing with a motherfucking money run.
Yeah. I love the production on this song, man. This is great. The horns and stuff, man.
I was using that like echo or whatever it is. It just like repeats
Yep.
whatever the last word of the rhyme,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it leads it bleeds into the next verse.
I was gonna say that. I missed the what happened.
This is the story of a couple of small-time hustlers framed by crooked cops and forced to make a run for their lives. Nothing but a bag of money, a stolen Buick Grand National, and each other to their names. They ain't friends exactly. These guys have a better chance of killing each other than beating the odds. No, sir. They're brothers. And when the chips are down, I really don't think you want to bet against Yankee of the Parade. Yankee of the Brave.
All right, man. That it's funny when we listen to records that I didn't know what the hell to expect with this, and it's just funny how it grows on you, you know, like you you go through the first couple songs like okay, this
It's
is
usually like
okay.
the first 2 or 3.
Like you're just kind of getting your grounding or whatever, but then I thought this was tremendous. I didn't know what to think at first, but anyway, Jake, what did you think overall? We'll kind of go back through it a little bit, but
I don't know. I thought it was great, and I like how the energy. I definitely like how the energy kind of doesn't stop. Like like I said before, like you're always just kind of being inundated with this like either some kind of message or like instrumental that just like hitting you and hitting you and hitting you, and that's what they're kind of known for. That's their style. You know what I mean? With their flow, with the instrumental.
What they
but
gotta say.
it's still not. The cool part is, especially like you can see from the last track, like it's not lacking in taste. Like it's not just like some over the top type thing. Like they had the whole jazz saxophone thing going in the last one. Of
that
course,
last song,
Colin was like looking at me like, "Yeah, you like that? You like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." You know, but we'll have to look again at some of the lyrics a little bit, like briefly. But the last side I like really enjoyed it.
Joe.
Yeah, like Jake said, I think it's a great album all the way through. What was that one song? Never Look Back or something.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Yeah, that was the one song that I was like, I'd probably skip that. But then these last two, like, it ended very, very strong. His album. I think it opens very strong.
Because we were saying
Ends
something
very strong.
right away in those first three. Was it like 2 and 3? We were like, "Oh man."
First half of the album is excellent, I think.
It just struck when we first started listening to it. It just struck me more as like, okay, this is kind of. It just sounded like kind of pop to me. Like I wasn't really getting a whole lot, but then like, again, I mean, let me zero in on. Well, now I'm not gonna remember what song it was, but I think it was in Pulling the Pin, where he says, of course it was a Killer Mike verse. He says, "Fuck the political. The mission is spiritual." Like that. So that's what I'm thinking the whole time is like I said, like some of these songs, like the truth started to come through on this, and it was like, if it sounds political, it's whatever. But like again, the whole point is like this is beyond politics. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's just what I enjoy. All the artists I like that I enjoy, whether it's Rage Against the Machine or whatever, like they're just telling like their truth. It's not. They don't have an angle to it. You know what I mean? Like,
and that was what I was just thinking. Like the truth, like in the same song, he says like, if you scroll up, he says something like, the paradise promised in the spiritual, but I want it all in the physical. Like my pastor says, God has promised us paradise. Live a good life. It's pivotal. I promised my mom I'd stay honest, but I want it all in the physical. It's just like, it's stuff people can relate to, as well as like the political and spiritual message that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But and they got a lot of the messaging on this was the news keeping people divided and stuff. We talk about that all the time, and so that's that's what it is. Okay, so the first song on, we didn't really wrap up the side before, so it was Just, right?
Yep. This is the one with Zach.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the one I definitely heard because of Zach.
Yeah. This
So
is
it was nice. I like the chorus. Look at all these slave masters posted on your dollar, because there's presidents on every bill.
Well, to me also, it's just like because everyone's a slave to money. Like no matter what
Yeah.
you do, you have to make money. So like
Yeah.
So
you
you're a
look at
slave
it,
to money.
Yeah, they're your slave master.
But the slave masters are on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the production, like the
Crazy.
subtle, like
Crazy.
the get it, like
Yeah,
right
yeah,
after, because it's like because your impulse, like what, like we're slaves? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of little like let it sink in, you know what I mean? Like
what's what I love in the second like chorus with or whatever with Pharrell when he talks about the 13th Amendment. Says that slavery is abolished and like they just bring out stuff like that, and it's because it's really in the 13th Amendment they say how it's
right.
It is, but it's not if you're in prison, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's again, like if you look at like the prison population in the United States, like being the biggest out of any country in the world, it's like
because they can pay them nothing to
right.
work.
Yeah.
Well, then, so like LP talks later in his verse when he's talking about the end like of his verse, he's talking about the Eric Garner like,
yes,
Murdo's choco cop still earning a living. Funny how some say money don't matter. He's just because he was outside of a store selling single cigarettes to buy food, and the cops came up and which is a big thing in New York because you can just buy them anywhere.
Yeah,
and that's what he got killed for, but.
Crazy.
I know nothing basically. Like, what
over
hell?
a counterfeit $20.
It's
literally worth nothing. If it's counterfeit, it's literally worth nothing. So his life was lost over nothing.
Yeah, and it's funny. He brings up the murderless choco cop still earning a living because nothing in his view, nothing happens to them ever.
Right.
So they can do whatever they want, and they're still.
So obviously, this song was recorded later than the other one that talks about "I Can't Breathe."
This was all, I guess, the same time. So Eric Garner was.
It did happen pretty fast. Like
Eric Garner was a couple years ago.
Okay.
The George Floyd was the one that was last year.
Oh, okay. So they're just so.
They're referencing almost that more. The I Can't Breathe stuff's been around for a little bit. Yeah. Like the Eric Garner stuff. But then it just so happens that that happened right when this album was coming out. Yeah. And it that's what like Walking in the Snow when he hits that part. It's like it's really right there.
Shit don't change.
Yeah.
They just they changed up, but it's the same thing. It's just in a different package.
Yeah, there's too many lines to go through. It's just so good, but like it's just money is the line. What are we looking at in the
LP,
just, which they did with a dollar sign, by the way. So but hey, it's just money. But it's like, well, but that dude, to somebody who doesn't have money, it's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
And then Zach kills his whole verse at the end.
Oh yeah, so actually. Zapruder, a shooter's view of Zapruder Flick. So what's that? The Kennedy.
Yes, the Zapruder film.
Zapruder film.
Where the frame's missing, of course. Yeah, he recorded that. I think that was his first take they did, and he did it on the whatever they use for the live mics, the SMs or whatever, 58s or something. He recorded with that, which is what he used for Rage Against the Machine most of the time. And he just did it at home, and he sent it in, and LP's like, "This is awesome. Let's just keep it."
Yeah.
So that was it, one take.
And that was probably all you were going to get from him, anyways. Because you don't come out of the,
Who had? There's a similar story on the Kanye West. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Rick Ross. They just kind of at the last minute they're like, "Hey, we need a verse for this."
Well, he had a deadline. They did some edits and stuff. I was reading up on that later. They did some edits and stuff. But they were put a strict deadline, and then he had to basically kill it his first, and he basically did. But they kind of it's Kanye, so he's got to pick and he's got to.
He's a producer, sure.
Yeah, it's basically it was that first take. That's why I'm so surprised that Zach wants to do this reunion tour with Rage.
Yeah. I saw Prophets of Rage a couple years ago. So it was.
I thought you saw them.
No, I didn't.
Which is just Rage Against the Machine without Zach. It's the guy from.
It's with
Cypress Hill's lead.
Be Real and
the dude from Public Enemy.
Chuck D.
Yeah. They're pretty good, but it's not Zach, so it's not the same. But
exactly.
But this would be a great show to see because then he can come out and do his feature songs. Yeah.
Well, this was great. It's funny that you ended up bringing this because like we listened to J. Cole last week, but you didn't know that, so it's funny that you settled on this. Like, I'm just curious. I mean, I already asked you, I guess, but like, what, like, did you have any? Because I'm, like when we're picking a record, it's always like, oh, is this gonna go over well? Did you have any kind of trepidation about that, or?
Yeah, like, because I know you guys don't do a lot of rap, or you hadn't do a lot of rap until recently.
Right.
So I figured I'd switch it up.
Yeah.
Bring a little rap, but I didn't know. I figured this one would go over pretty well because it's a pretty good, like, it's pretty solid rap. It's not like a obscure like rap album or anything. And
yeah, sure.
I think rap albums are hit or miss. A lot of times they're not good from top to bottom. They have the couple hits or singles in it, and they're not good. But
I thought a lot of filler tracks.
Yeah, I thought this one top to bottom's good.
Yeah. But can you tell the difference between like this and J. Cole? Like you were saying this is poppy, but I think J. Cole stuff is way more poppy than this. Just because like how the beats are on this and how their flow are, you don't hear like this type of flow and this type of beat on like radio.
Yeah, this is more of a traditional hip hop style record, like as far as it's produced. Like
well, the only reason I said that was, and again, I'm like the least familiar with the genre, I guess, out of all of us, but like the heavy bass, like this was like produced heavily.
Yes.
Which all hip hop is, just just by nature of the genre. But it was just kind of the heavy bass and stuff is kind of what made me.
Yeah, and that's in a lot of that's
bad way, but
that's in a lot of hip hop today. Well, that's always been in hip hop.
That's also what gave me the fun vibe. It was a lot of like changes, especially in that last.
I love all the beat changes and everything. They're so Some of them can be very subtle, like you won't even like recognize. And other ones, like the first song, like the beat drop was. I love the beat drop on the first track.
What's like in Holy Camel Fuck, where they start with the one beat and then they switch it in the middle of the song. It's like a completely different beat at the end of it.
And it just helps when they could do different flows. It's not like a 21 Savage who just like flows like one type of way, or like there's rappers that like a DaBaby, like he's known for his type of flow.
Yeah,
and he doesn't really go off of that. But these guys can do all of them.
They can adapt.
Yeah. Okay, so this came out. So they released this in 2020. Do you know if they're doing anything currently? I mean, I know they have that tour pending with Rage Against the Machine, but
so I know they kind of they've remixed some of their songs. Like I know Ooh La La got a remix. Ground Below got a remix with the Royal Blood, where they played like the guitar and drums in it. So they do a little.
That's cool.
It's pretty good because like they had a little guitar flair in it and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
They did a song for the Cyberpunk video game. They recorded a song for that, so that's pretty much their most recent.
A lot of artists are doing songs for like video games, like they're getting like into, I think I had to do a lot with like Red Dead Redemption. I think they had to.
So like with
Minecraft.
with Cyberpunk, it's like it's in the future. Just it's like more of like a city, like corporations control everything, so it's kind of right up their alley.
Perfect.
I beat that game, and yes.
Just like how. Rage Against the Machine was featured in The Matrix. It's just perfect fit.
It's timely, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Okay, so what's your how many records do you have, do you think? Do you know?
Let me think. I got probably at least 15, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So I got all the My Chemical Romance. I got all of 21 Pilots. I have like Run the Jewels, Kid See Ghost, another Kid Cudi, and then a couple just like random Pink Floyds.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
I have all the like major Pink Floyds.
Dude, that was one of the best. What did we do? Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here is
yeah.
great.
I want to get to Animals.
I have Animals. I have The Wall. I have Dark Side. I haven't even opened Dark Side or Animals yet. I haven't listened to The Wall all the way through. I wanted to wait till I had it on vinyl I've heard every song on it, just not all the way through in order.
What's your favorite My Chemical Romance album?
The first one, I think.
Okay, nice.
I almost brought that, but I didn't know how it would go over here. Like
We haven't really listened to like that.
Well,
I didn't know if you guys knew My Chemical Romance
Ghost,
that well.
That's like. That's different. Ghost is different.
We haven't listened to a lot of like 2000s shit.
So yeah,
Right.
in the first My Chemical Romance albums, like it's a lot like harder. Like they do a lot more yelling in it than their later albums, especially like Black Parade and Danger Days.
Oh yeah, Black Parade's almost like something you would watch like on Broadway or something.
Yeah,
like
it's very
theatrical. You know, it tells a story like throughout the whole.
I know Colin likes concept albums.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, of course.
It's actually a really good concept album.
The second one is a concept album too. It starts in the first album. They have one song that kind of ties it in with the second album, but the second album is a concept album. The rest of them are.
Well, I like that for sure. And the other thing I think just about record night in general is I think like a lot of times, you know, we just talked about it. Like you pick, I hope this goes over well, but sometimes I think the best records are the ones that are kind of unpredictable.
Like
you don't
sure
know
about.
if it's going to go over well because it makes for an interesting conversation after.
9 times out of 10, they all go over well.
I think they do.
We're not very critical when it comes to music, so.
Well, exactly. We're not music critics. You know what I mean? Like this is all art at the end of the day, and so I think we all come at it with like an open mind and stuff. But like,
it's all impressive.
But still, I mean, if something hits you where it's like, I didn't think I was good. Because again, like when this one started, I was kind of like, you know, you're kind of guarding against like, I don't want to say I like this if I don't. You know what I mean? Right. So like, you're just kind of guard. But this ended up being terrific. So
I knew you guys would like it.
Yeah. So, but I think My Chemical Romance would be a good direction to go next. Because again, like Jake said, we really haven't listened to too many anything. I mean, Linkin Park.
Yeah, that's a 2001.
There's so much we have to get to.
Yeah, it's a 2001, 2002 album because he wrote the first song after he saw 9/11 happen, and he wrote the first song, and then they recorded it in one of the bandmates' attic, and it's really good. Yeah, they have a song on there about 9/11. But
well, okay, I think that again. Well, you got some options as we just talked about, but I think that'd be a good direction to go in next, and we'll have to have you back and do that one or something else. But so until then, this has been the Record Podcast. Thank you for joining us.